Hey, what's up, everybody? Mogollon Monster here, along with the lovely Stevie B.
Hey, hello, everybody.
Welcome to Why the Fascination, or WTF as we like to call it. Hope everybody is doing well tonight. Great to see everybody already in chat. Sandra Piper, how are you? Hey, Christy. Sharon Guy, what's up? Good to see you. Harold, how's it going? Mr. Lee, what's up, buddy?
Mr. Lee.
Hey, Northwoods. Danny Steen, how are you? What's we got here? Hey, Jim. Jim's camera done.
I cannot see chat yet.
He's been putting out some stuff.
That's cool.
NAC, how's it going?
You know, I
David and the missus.
don't have time to watch much of anything. I really
You're just busy.
don't like it that I don't have time to watch anything. I miss looking at everybody's content.
She falls asleep to content now. That's like that's the time she gets to watch. It's just like that's her free time, is just before bed.
Yes.
So.
And I do. I fall asleep. So again, I don't get to see much. I try. I do try. My phone's probably going to make a loud noise here in a second.
An alarm?
Well, no, the phone that I followed chat on was dead. What are you looking for?
Glasses.
Oh,
Already. I know it's sad. It's just,
I don't actually see
no,
them.
I thought I put them right here somewhere. Not there.
Well,
That's
yeah.
It's one.
The problem is they blend in. Wait, here they are. You're looking too
Those
far
are the
away.
black ones. Let me try these again.
No, these aren't.
Those,
The black ones are in your hand, I think.
there.
We'll get our shit together eventually.
No, yeah, but you can do that. It's a little late at this point.
Yeah,
Why bother? When I said something's got to change, that's not.
Forgive us,
I'm a little
y'all.
more realistic.
Yeah, I think so. I'm more hopeful, I suppose. Wishful thinking.
Not really.
My phone is stuck.
Better or worse?
Look, it's been on that since I plugged it in.
I mean, because it's probably that low.
It probably is.
That's all I can do is just maintain that screen. That's it.
Shush.
You have to like unplug it and start over.
Well, I could see.
Excuse me.
Sandra Piper, good to see you. Hey, Mark.
I'm somewhere. Scott B, what's happening? Nelson, good to see you.
What's up, Jeff? I know in research. Got it.
Jeff?
Can't even talk.
Well, guys, what we do is we put the link in chat, like so. Nope, that's another fucking V. Let's try that one. I was that close. Well, the shift and control are right next to each other, so I, just hit that and then, Anyway.
LIB, what it do?
What's up, Mike? Hey, Mark.
Sharon Guy.
Tight lines.
Good to see you.
Still blurry. So yeah, if you click on the link, just follow the directions. It's pretty simple. If you don't want to be on screen, bottom of the camera by the screen, you'll see a stop camera. You can hit stop camera. You don't have to be on screen.
I bet.
Yeah.
Hey.
Also, just if you're coming from like how you're clicking on from YouTube, turn off YouTube when you get to StreamYard, so we don't get that feedback.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Glasses
Bad
work real good.
echo.
Mobs. I'm trying, dude. don't wear them enough, dude. If this is the only time I wear them, is like Tuesdays and Thursdays.
When he
That's
does the
it.
show, that's it.
So I gotta re-get used to them. He says we don't get much country music up here. I gotta go seek it out.
You know, I believe it because when I was up in Baltimore, I have the rental, and I could only find two stations, but depending on what side of the city I was on, there's not a lot of country.
No, I remember that. I don't even know what year it was, but when the country station was real popular at the time, went off the air, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then finally, a year or two later, another one popped up, and I became friends with those guys. I mean, I was friends with the DJs. Like, if I called in, this okay. So this was 97, 98. And I knew all the DJs and shit. We'd go to concerts and they'd know me. It was just the way, I don't know. It was weird. They used to hang out where I ran karaoke. So it was cool. Rick's Hand, how's it going? It's unusual because country music is so popular, and it has been. And now, I mean, more than ever, I could see a radio station popping up in Manhattan or Long Island or wherever that is country music, because you have like people breaking into it that normally aren't in country music. Like what's her name? Her.
Swift.
No.
Oh, I don't know who you're talking about.
What's the one, Shabuzi, or what is? He did that one song.
Oh, Beyonce.
Beyonce Knowles. Who is this? Richie Rich. What's up?
What up?
How you doing?
So I fooled you with it, huh?
What's that?
Breaking up.
We got a little lag.
I'm having trouble hearing.
Okay. I can hear me. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, let me turn this up.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first you were broken up. We can hear you.
So I got you with the Richie Rich thing.
Yeah, I'm still like, are they still dirty? Because I'm like,
Still trying to get chat up. Finally got my phone turned on.
I just want to.
So what's going on?
Check in long enough. I want to check in long enough to let everybody know that are we breaking up or what?
Yeah. It's the vocal. Turn off camera for a minute and try just the vocals, just the audio. Let's see if it makes a difference. This way you're not using. Now just start talking.
Okay. I want to check in, everybody know that I survived my surgery and I'm back in the woods. And the Richie Rich part is, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you understand?
Huh? Absolutely.
Okay. The Richie Rich part has to do with something I was told years ago by a very wise person, that I would be financially abundant when I no longer needed it. And it took me 10 years to figure out what they were talking about. But yesterday I gave away everything I own to my children.
Why? Okay.
I can't afford to keep it stored anymore.
Okay.
So I was like, y'all need to come get it because I'm done. If y'all don't want it, I'll let it go up for sale. And like, oh no, don't do that. So my oldest son has taken the contents of 3 buildings and put them in one. He got rid of a lot of stuff that he didn't have a use for, and that's fine. But now what I own is my van and what's in it. That's it.
Less is more.
Yes.
It was doing no good in 3 buildings.
No, it's
Serving
been in storage
no
for 8
purpose.
years. I haven't touched any of it. You know.
Yeah.
But what I was doing was keeping it for them. But as long as I was paying the notes, you know, we'll get it one day. And you know, it's like, okay, you got a month because I just paid the last note on it. Jump 2 if you want it, you know. And 2 of them said, nah, we ain't got time. We don't have a place. We ain't got room. My oldest son said, I'll be down in a couple of days. He drove from Montana to Oklahoma where he lives, did a 24-hour bounce there, and drove to Louisiana with a friend of his. And for 2 days, they've been going through the storage buildings, tossing out, giving away. You know, he found all kinds of people that took things that he didn't want anymore. Good. And don't even tell me what they were because I don't care. You know?
Yeah, right.
I told him about one thing I wanted, a briefcase that had a lot of papers important to me. And he said, I'll hold it for you. I'll put it back for you.
Right on.
And that's it. Past that, you know, of course, he's going digging through. When he starts opening boxes in November, it's going to blow his mind because he has no idea what's in the boxes. He just got rid of big stuff, chairs,
Sure.
patio furniture, you know, that
Sure.
took up a whole lot of room.
The bulky items, yeah.
And probably a spool table that I had that's older than him. But, you know, whatever.
Hopefully he enjoys it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nostalgic Pod Blast, how's it going, Chance? Midwest. What's up, girl?
Anyway, I'm a duck out. Just want to come make that announcement.
Dude, I am so happy to hear that you're doing better.
Yeah,
I
was getting ready to ask how are you feeling? Yeah. How are you feeling today?
Yeah, doing good. Went for my post-op visit with the surgeon, and she said, "It looks like everything's healing well. You should be fine in a few days, and no more problems." I said, "Good. Glad to hear that."
Glad to hear that. Yeah,
absolutely. But we're still praying for you.
I appreciate that. Y'all have a good evening. I'm gonna check out because I'm back in the woods and sketchy connections. So,
all right, Claude.
Y'all take care.
Be safe.
Oh, I will. Well, I have to be careful because I can't behave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right.
All righty. Later on. Y'all have a good one.
Talk to you soon.
All right. Bye-bye.
I'm glad to hear that he's doing better.
I know. For sure.
Speedy recovery. I know you got a little ways to go. Put this mic up here. It's too low. I'm just talking too low.
I think you're talking low. Trying to still get into chat.
This is only my first cup of coffee in hours, so I got to catch up. So I got bored today, and I have this ashtray that I got from my dad. It was something he had for forever, and one day it broke, and I fixed it, but it was crooked. I fixed it lopsided, not lopsided. Well, it doesn't sit right, but it's this.
It's got a little wobble.
I just cleaned it today.
It doesn't even.
She didn't recognize it.
No.
And it's just a simple, brass but one of these had fallen off, and I soldered it back on this years ago. And I forgot what it looked like because it was so dark. It was so discolored, and it still really needs a good cleaning. I want to get the Dremel out with the buffer wheel and get a better polish and clean it up. And I want to see what it looks like all shiny, because it was almost brown. Plus, I was using like old cleaner. I don't know how long it was in. I had this shed outside and I have like automotive stuff and cleaning stuff, yard stuff. But it was from previous owner. So there was he had a boat, so he had different metal cleaners like Brasso and Tarnex.
Let's put it this way. We've been here a little over a year now.
That's the first time I've used it.
I didn't even remember that it was in the shed or closet or whatever you want to call it.
What's up, Mike?
Oh shit! You was pulling out fast when I'm not.
All right,
How you doing, man?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm just tired. I was just like scrolling through YouTube, like I was like, damn, there's nothing on. Like and all of a sudden it was like, boom, like W2TF live. I was like, yes.
Like I think BMR's on, Bigfoot Michigan Rob's on. I think who's with Duke.
Duke, I believe.
Yeah, Duke Sullivan's hanging out with him. They went on at 9.
I didn't get notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get notifications for any of that.
Gate Smasher, what's up?
I'm like preparing my dinner, so if the tinfoil gets too loud, just tell me.
Where's the Never mind.
Are you wearing it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it
on yet?
I don't want to even get on because you're gonna get pissed. Because I'm in a hoodie, and I know how you guys get with your hot weather. It's got to still be hot down there, but it's like 68, 67.
Yeah, no, it's still hot.
I know. It's like every time that door opened, the outside would like come in and choke you out. Get over here!
Finish him.
Yeah.
Evil shit.
Caucasian Sasquatch is live too. The Howler, what's up? I'm gonna scroll back up and see who the hell's here. So yeah, I'd love to have like a fishing report. Well, she does. I don't.
I caught a fish yesterday. I got that. Caught a bass.
About a 2 pound, pound and a half, 2 pound bass. And I had just said, or I just thought, or I probably made a stupid comment.
He did. He just said
about like
there's no fish.
I didn't say that this time. I said it after that, but it was a comment about like I'm not getting any hits whatsoever. And as soon as I said that, I turn around and from my right I hear fish on, and she never says that. She'll just start reeling in. I was like, what? She's cranking one in.
He thought I was kidding. I said it again.
I just immediately went to her rod tip, and I was like, "Son of a bitch!"
I told my son he could do like one last hurrah, like whatever you want before school, and I thought he was gonna say like the water park or like something. He wanted to go fishing, so we went on the charter boat, and Yeah, you get those people who are like, I got one, fish on, and like they're hooked to the bottom of the boat, or like they're hooked to the person
Guy on the other side of the boat.
on the other side, like, and then they're fighting each other, and like,
You guys, if you've never seen this shit, I've been there to experience this. I've probably been that guy on the other side of the boat.
Sometimes it's me, but I don't say it all the time. You know what I mean? And you have the other person like, I got all the time, and you're like, go stop. You know?
You just gotta hope that you can get his slack up before he gets yours and cut his line.
That's the best part about the charter boat is they got all these. The one I go on is family owned, and like they don't leave the bay really. Like they stay like out at Captree, and they it's like they're all young. You know, they're all young, so they're like running around the boat just taking care of everything. So like before you can even like think about like troubleshooting what's going on, they're like there's like a young kid on you like just fixing it. And like it's
That's what they do. That's their second nature, man. They know.
Well, it's like and it's like waitresses. They work for tips. You know what I mean? So like they don't make shit unless they get tips. Like
I know.
And you see people walk off the boat and not give them anything. I'm like, I just want to slap them.
And if those are the guys that are filleting your fish or
well, yeah,
helping you out when you're catching it, they're you lose a hook, they're tying it on, right?
Exactly. If you get tangled up, even if you get a little bird's nest, they'll come and like just fix it. You know what I mean?
You want to do the right thing. Tip them before when you get there, and as soon as you get underway, find the first mate that's going to be over with you and tip them.
Well, that's what I asked the kid. I known her since she was. I can't even believe she's still on that boat. They all do it though. It's a family thing. They all end up on that boat, and I was like, Kara, like what? Who was my first mate or whatever? Who was like in my area? She's like, oh, whatever. Like we all split it. But so I kind of started counting heads, like how many are there? But because you got to make it decent. I know it's expensive to go on these boats, but at the same time, that's what makes it enjoyable.
What did you go for?
That day it was fluke, I think. Yeah, fluke. But it ended up being like mostly sea robins, and none of the fluke were keepers.
That's because you're bottom fishing.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But then you get those sea robins.
If you go out of the bay too, it gets a little better. But it's like it's hard because the fluke were hitting, but they were. How big did they have to be? Over 19, I think.
Really?
I think they had to be over 19 and a half inches or something. So like most of the ones that people were pulling in were not keepers.
No.
They weren't floor mats. Let's put it that way. Doormats, whatever.
That's a big fish.
Yeah, the bigger ones put up a good fight
around here.
Yeah, they put up a decent fight. Like I don't know. It's not bad.
Dude, I love fluke. Fluke fishing. I grab fluke fishing.
Yeah, but the night
it was flounder.
Right, flounder I like, but the night trip was for blues and something else. So I guess they were maybe casting. But blue fishing, I can't take my son blue fishing. If he hooks into a blue, like he'll get his ass kicked.
How old is he?
He's 8.
Get him out there and
I'll do it soon. Yeah, I'll do it soon enough, but not yet. Yeah, I'm working him into it.
Oh, that's a great age. I probably started a little young. Well, probably 9.
Yeah,
I was catching bluefish with my dad, but I also would catch them off the jetties and stuff when I was a kid.
Yeah. Well, I told you I used to get spoiled. I had like a rich uncle, and anyway, whatever. We won't get into what he did, but he used to. Anyway, he introduced me into we would go fishing all the time, and they would take me out. But he the blues. I think we were talking about it. It like tripped me out when he clubbed one over the head.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa, like, what the heck?
Well,
Like, you know,
they'll just bounce all over the place, and they have sharp teeth.
Yep. Yeah, that was my introduction to
Connor Johnson, what's up? WTF, Mike, welcome.
Who let him in?
I thought the door was locked. Oh. I guess he picked the lock.
Check security.
Go back and look at the cameras. Love wildlife. How are you?
Hey, Jane.
Heidi Pop. How are you? Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, so what we were talking about the country stations. I don't think, like you were saying, how they change or whatever. I don't even think there's a country station on right now. Like sometimes there is, like, but I went to the country station and it's not there. You know what I mean? Like it's not there anymore. But they changed so much around here.
No, I remember. I remember like when it was the one country station was there for a long time, and Boof gone. And it took years. It took a couple of years for the next station, like 2 years before another station showed up.
Yeah,
and I think they were. I'm trying to remember. I think they were out of Jersey.
Yeah, a lot of ours, like you know where I'm. Well, you know the lay of the land here, so like basically we're Southern Connecticut, right? Like so, like that we get a lot of stations from like Hartford, and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or if I'm on Western Long Island, I'll get stations from like the city, or you know what I mean. So like I have to always like change. I'm not that I listen to the radio like that, but I don't know. There was just like a few country songs that came out, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just put on a country station instead, you know? Like, and I couldn't find one. But you go upstate, and then all the stations start turning into country. You know, like, it's weird.
When you get guy without hitting one.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's so rare that I use that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your fishing story before, Stevie.
Oh no, that was it.
I carried away. 20 minutes ago.
I've been making coffee and trying to find my other phone.
Yeah.
So I can follow chat.
Oh yeah. Well, you can put it up on there, but it's annoying.
It doesn't scroll, and
I know. I use it.
And I can't see you guys.
Like I don't know what I did on the laptop, but somehow I logged out. Like I don't even know how to get back in. Like I'm like, it's so weird. It's I don't know. I'm just so non-tech savvy. It's insane.
Well, that's what just happened to me. I tried to use a different phone for chat, and I wasn't logged into YouTube, but it wouldn't let me log on to YouTube. Then when I did, it wasn't showing me chat at all. So I just went and got my other phone. My oldest phone.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to use the Wi-Fi on it. And
that's what I was going to do.
Follow chat on your phone.
I'm going to see the difference in the two. It's fucking turn on.
Well, that's my problem.
First. Turn down the volume.
Two dysfunctional phones as far as phone service.
Like if you're trying to follow the mannerisms of the people like that are on the show or whatever with you, you can't when you have the chat up on your phone because it blocks out everyone's faces. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah,
it basically takes over.
Yes.
I'm just curious if it pops up.
It lays in the top.
Volume should be up.
I would think it would be small for you to see.
Yeah, no, but I just want to.
Yeah, Stevie. So you could do this too, and
Yeah,
I mean, you can go sideways, so that it doesn't do that thing down the middle. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
when you turn it sideways, it does like this. But if you have it up like that, it does that like
you get 5 bars on it.
sides. Yeah, it drives me nuts. It didn't ever bother me because I didn't know any better. And then somebody showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh!" Like now it bugs me.
Yeah, it doesn't help me at all. I just turned it off. Because I can't enlarge it or anything like I can here. Like I can enlarge everything. So yeah, guys, let me wait. Servers usually have to split tips, or in this case, divvy them up even if your mate is working harder. That's why I ask for their Venmo. The servers have Venmo.
So it goes right to them.
For cash. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's other pay apps that you can use, but yeah, no, that's smart.
I mean, it's all like on the honor system too. How many of them are actually showing what they made throughout the night?
Well, that's the beauty of cash.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sneaky like that.
Cheating
well,
there.
Yeah, if you're putting cash in your pocket all night and then you're supposed to just pool it, well, who's saying that they're taking all them, the cash that they got and putting it?
Yeah, no, I get it. And it is a trust system, and what?
I looked up in chat, and Jay's house got hit by lightning today.
What?
Oh shit!
Fried big TV and AC unit. We're fine. That's where I was looking.
Lightning, Russ, and Steve.
Well, I'm glad you're okay.
Holy shit, dude!
I mean, it's
really, you're okay. That's scary as hell.
It is.
It's like hitting the lotto in the wrong way.
It says lightning bad. Yes, indeed.
Oh, it was. I'm sitting here, broad daylight, and
screen. But shit can be replaced. You can't. So.
The lightning got wicked this afternoon.
Yeah, no, I watched it across the lake over that way.
Over his way.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was watching the lightning.
We saw it.
I was out there fishing, catching zilch. Not a zip.
I was sitting on the couch. I saw it.
Right out there past the mason jar.
Right?
I like that place.
I did too.
Yeah, they have good food. Just who the hell puts? What did I get? Stewed tomatoes, and there was bread in it.
Yeah, that was random.
I was like, damn it, couldn't eat it.
This is random.
I don't think I'd want to eat it with bread soggy like that. I mean, it was buried under. It almost looked like pudding.
I wasn't sure what it was.
Me either.
I realized
I think that's the only reason you were poking around it in the first place. Like,
trying to figure out what it was.
Because I ate one tomato and I was like, oh, that's good. And then I was like, I looked down, I was like, what the hell is that?
I'm not cheating on my diet for some soggy ass bread.
Right.
I don't know who ate it. I gave it to somebody else. What did I get after that? I don't know.
Yeah, Jay, I think. Jay had it already too. I didn't get to try it, but it looked good. Anyway, it was good food. I liked it. It was and I don't know, looking at the prices when we walked in and stuff, that's not how it goes up here. It could be the same menu and it'll be triple the price just for no reason.
just because of where it is.
Yeah, it's
Sorry, I'm just
no, that's all right.
following chat.
I ain't saying nothing. You don't know. You were there.
Jay said the chair survived.
Yes, I'll put it up.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
that might
Put
that might
everything
have been the anti-conductor that saved you, like car tires, like the,
It's grounded. It's well grounded.
Mr. Lee said Jay Fred Solo, thank God.
That's scary. I mean, I've been close to lightning.
Oh, it's scary. I've been
But,
real close to it.
Like close enough where I had to spin around and I tucked my head, covered my head, and pointed my ass in that direction because if I was going to get hit, that's where I wanted to get hit.
I was in a car and the lightning bolt went over top of the car, hair raised, electrical system in the car just completely fried. Watched it go across the roadway I was looking at facing, and saw it hit the pole.
I know people are scratching their heads right now, going, "Why would you want to get hit in the ass?"
Yeah, right.
I don't know. It just seemed like I didn't want to get hit in the head.
Rather than the head.
So I just went around and just pointed that direction. I was like, waiting. But it hit the tree.
Tampa butt lightning.
I felt the heat from the lightning
He says,
bolt.
"Not my time. You'll never believe what we were talking about when it hit." Antichrist, never again. Holy shit. Oh, I'd love to. We'll never talk about that again, apparently.
No.
I want to know that conversation. Then again, maybe not.
Right.
That's crazy, Jay. Really, read that again.
Oh no, I read it.
Well, it says, "Jay, I'm glad you're okay. You can go buy another TV."
Very true. He said, "Oh yeah, Claude, material stuff."
That's true. Sorry it happened, but I'm glad you're okay.
First thing I said was, "I'm glad they're okay."
I had to try to catch up. Get lost. Let me do this real quick.
I think I got it now.
All right, link is once again in chat. If you want to hang out, click on that link. Go grab some coffee. So what do you got going on next, Mike? You going getting in the woods?
Yeah. My kids were here for a few days, the young ones. I drove them well up into the mountains, and then I ended up coming right back. I just was in bad shape, and my son starts school tomorrow, and then that's it. God willing, I'll take it easy for a couple days, and then I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back out there. It's cooling down a little finally, so I'm not a big fan of the heat, so I like the fall.
Yeah, I like your backdrop.
Thank you. I couldn't really find anything that I liked, but this one, it was just. It's weird the way when that light is on. If I use like my ring light, which I never do because I just don't give a shit. But if I ever like actually set up the way I should, it looks pretty good. But
I like it.
See, I was gonna get something similar or something.
It's massive.
The sliding doors.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sliding doors.
I wanted to put something on there.
Well, that's
okay.
the other, probably the other glass, the other window that goes into that room.
Yeah, this would be a perfect fit for that. It's huge. It's huge. It's like shit. I don't know. I'll have to get the dimensions and I'll tell you. But it's many feet by many feet.
Is it huge?
Christy said it looks a little squatchy.
Little squatchy.
8 by 11 or some shit like that.
Oh damn, that would do that whole friggin' wall.
It's big. Yeah. And it was only like $8 or some shit. Like they wanted a lot of money for a lot of them. Like anything with like a Bigfoot on it, it shot up. Like, you know, I don't know. I started looking into like just like ocean ones and just forest ones, and then like I was trying to look at like portals and stuff like that, and they were like getting a little crazy and like psychedelic looking and shit, you know, like kind of like the old Blacklight posters. So I was like, all right, I'm going back to like nature, you know. I'll just
that's what I would do, you know, something like that.
Yeah, it's cool. There's actually a big giant tree on each side, and like I don't know, it's cool though.
NAC, congratulations! Come this Christmas, 14 years sober. That's awesome.
That is.
Yeah.
Just keep it up, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, man. Shit ain't easy. Good job.
No, after a while it is. If you get to a point where it's just like, man.
He says it don't miss it of it.
Huh? He doesn't miss it. I don't miss it.
Well, like alcohol, I think is harder. Like I always said that because, like, I don't have a issue with alcohol. I can leave half a beer on the table. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't give a shit. I could drink a beer and walk away. I can't do it with certain drugs. Like, but alcohol is everywhere. Like, it's offered to you everywhere. It's acceptable everywhere. You know.
Yeah. So
it's at every pastime, everything. Like, it's everywhere. You know, you can't even walk into the convenience store because without it being right next to everything else. So it's not like like.
A lot of times you walk into a store and that's what you see first.
Yeah, right. They even have
full of singles.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now they even have like Fireball like on at the like right where you check out at. They got like Fireball and like these ball drinks and I'm like, what? I'm like, is that alcohol? I'm like, is this what's going on here?
Yeah,
it is. It's a lower content of alcohol than what you would get at a liquor store, but. Yeah,
it has
certain level of alcohol in it.
Yeah, it has to be under a certain percent, like, and then it's treated.
Right.
But now they make beers that are like, like high percentage. It wasn't. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, yeah, I always just thought it was harder. Like I always respected that when people were able to quit alcohol like that. It's not. It can't be easy.
No, it's we were just. It's funny. We were just talking about this before the show about detoxing and it's not easy, and I'm not saying it's any worse or than anything else. It just if you've ever detoxed, be it drugs, alcohol, whatever, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Any type of detox.
And
yeah,
it's that detox that made me promise myself I would never put myself in that situation again because I was not going through that shit twice.
Yeah, withdrawals and detox are totally different things. Because like a withdrawal, you're just like you're going to get another fix at some point. It's not going to last that long, or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just you're riding it out until your next fix. Detox sucks.
Wasn't going to help. And
I think my detox lasted. Oh, sorry. I think my detox lasted over like a month. It was crazy. It sucked the first time. I mean. The first time.
Yeah, I
got it right after that.
I got it right. I did it. I was back to work in a week.
Yeah, I don't know how you did that, but more power to you.
I was a fucking brutal week.
Yeah, Jay just said you could die from alcohol detox.
Yes, you can.
You absolutely can.
And that's the hardest one to detox from. Is that one?
Well,
I don't know a lot of people that have done it. Just
we were talking, and I was explaining how
it was
I'm
hell.
not even gonna read.
It was just
Alcohol.
hell.
it's hard to explain. Yeah, like
It was like the lack of sleep, just everything. I was never put myself in that position again. I was jaundiced, dude. My eyes were yellow. My tongue was yellow. You know, my skin was, well, it was Arizona. I was outside a lot, so it wasn't. It was tan, so I couldn't tell if it was yellow. But yeah, and I was just the shakes and everything that goes with detox. And I immediately I went to work, and before I got to work, I stopped at the store and grabbed a half pint of vodka and got to work to my little station in the back and just downed it. It did nothing.
yeah.
I walked up to my manager. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I will text you, but I have to go. And I went home. I got on the bus, and I was like vibrating. I was so fucking fucked up. It was weird. And I texted him and told him exactly what was going on. He said, okay, I'll see you in a week. Don't ever do it again. And I worked there for 4 years. And this was early on, me working there. And I continued to work there for another 4 years. Sober.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool though. I mean, it's nice when somebody's supportive like that. I mean, technically it's illegal to fire somebody for that, but I mean, I don't think it was, that wasn't a world like that back then.
No threat of that. It was just like,
I know, but I'm just saying it was nice of them to react that way. Like, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those DTs will pass, they'll, shit, man. Like you say, you were vibrating. It was probably the DTs, or I think that's what it's called, DTs, when you shake.
Yes, that's. But I immediately looked up, like, okay, I know the jaundice comes from my liver, so what do I do about that? And I looked up everything for my liver, any vegetable, raw fruit, everything that would benefit my liver. And I got it. I made salads with all raw. I got some liver detox pills. But this was like the next day. Say this shit happened on a Monday. Tuesday, I was in the store getting this shit, and it was just hell. And did what I had to do. The jaundice cleared up in about 3 days. And the rest was just not sleeping and still shaking for a week. But I don't envy anybody that I know what you've gone through.
Yeah.
And I hope you only go through it once.
I saw a guy today who was back on the wagon, and or off the wagon, however you want to put it. And I felt bad. I was like, get back on. I saw him later in the day, and he's like, I took your advice. I went into the doctor, and I'm getting back, I'm back on Suboxone or whatever. And he was. I don't want to get, not that anyone knows him, but anyway, yeah, it was good to know that he heard me.
NAC says whiskey made me mean, vodka made me cry, but beer kept me going. I could drink a fifth of PGA and 90 beers a day. Quit cold turkey, no DTs, and no regrets.
Wow.
Well, that's good, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my sister. I said maybe you should quit. Don't hit rock bottom in order to quit.
Yeah, everyone's rock bottom is different.
Yeah, no, well, there's,
Yeah.
True. I suppose, yeah.
No, I know what you're saying, though. It's, yeah.
Jay says, whiskey made me horny. My little feller down here just wouldn't cooperate. He just fell asleep, LOL. He's got whiskey dick. What? I knew a guy who wanted to open a bar in Nashville and call it Whiskey Dicks. Yeah. I don't think the city was going to go for it.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I've seen some names that I don't know. I mean, there's a store called Dick's, just in general.
Sporting goods, but yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I guess the sign to say Richards was just too big. How do we
Yeah.
do it? You know what? No, Mike. Maybe you have an idea. Anyone know how Paulie T is?
No,
So
I don't. Yeah, I haven't heard from him or seen him, but I won't get into his business. But yeah, he'll be back when he's ready.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Everyone's got ups and downs. It's good, yeah.
Danny says, on the wagon, not by choice. Chip in my card malfunction. Oop. Waiting on mail.
To wreck
To wreck the wagon.
My wagon had no wheels. The trip was sparking.
Not for lack of want.
You wouldn't even recognize the person I was when I was doing that shit. You wouldn't even.
I am thrilled that nobody, in this community, until like my sister shows up or somebody,
yeah,
they don't know that me. That
Well, that's what I always tell people. Like when they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they did that." Oh, I can't believe they did that, or like, I hate that person for this and that. And I'm like, no. I'm like, hold on. I'm like, that's not really them though. I'm like, are they active? You know what I mean? Like, are they using? Like, because that's not them. You know what I mean? That's not them. And I don't know how to explain that to some people, like, because it's nothing personal. Like, it's really not. You're just, when you're active and using, it's like a cancer patient needing chemo. Like, that's how badly they need to get their fix. Like, and there's nothing going to get in the way of that treatment, and it's self-treatment, but it's what the frig we choose. And, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's like, that's the goal every day. You wake up and that's your goal, is to get,
It's getting over that sickness,
Yeah. Yeah.
David, how are you?
It's the necessity.
I'm all right.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, y'all too. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah, he was talking about being on drugs and stuff, Mike. My wife, she got changed over to Suboxone, and the doctor had talked to her. He said, whatever you do, whenever you get your receipt from the pharmacy, keep that with you. Do not go anywhere with your medicine without that receipt. Well, he took off and went to town 2 months ago. She accidentally ran a red light. That cost me $185 for that time. I went and got the receipt from the pharmacy, took it down to the jail, got her medicine back and everything. They turned it back over to her. Okay. Thought everything was fine. She had to turn around and go to court just because she did not have that receipt for her medicine. It was her medicine. They charged her for possession of drugs, possession of illegal drugs, but it was her medicine. It still cost me $330.
Ask her to talk to her doctor and get the films. And now the films, I don't know if she has them, but they should have a barcode on them, and every barcode and every individual number down to like 20 numbers on it because there's so many of them floating around. But it should have a barcode and everything that should be directly connected to her. So, I mean, that's
Yeah,
in essence,
well,
that's
that's
the
what
idea. They even have
doctor
QR
about.
codes on them.
Yeah, well, that's what the doctor talked about. You know, he said if you need me to, he said I can call down there, whatever. I can write you out the paperwork and get all this straightened out. She said, hey, my husband's done paid the fine, everything got thrown out, so you know it's dismissed. But it was just so aggravating, you know, because the cop done her a little wrong. She gets nervous a lot, and especially she was by herself. And the cop asked her, you know, do you have anything in this vehicle that I need to know about? She said, no. He said, do you have any drugs? No. Okay. Well, do you mind me searching the vehicle? She said, you ain't going to find nothing. He grabs her purse, opens it up. That's the first thing he sees is her medicine. He said, you lied to me. She said, no, I didn't. That's my medicine. But, you know, there without the receipt, she couldn't prove it. So, you know, that's all messed up situation.
Yeah, it's weird. But I mean,
What's weird is your name is on the ID and the name's on the label. What, you know?
well, the
She had some
individual when they're individually, like when they're by themselves, you're not, you know what I mean? For you to carry around your whole
Yeah.
prescription bottle or the whole box of them or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had the
So it's
box,
basically
but
like you just have a
poured out
loose.
in her purse.
Yeah, it's like
She had the box,
benzos
but they were poured
and
out in her purse. Okay. She didn't put that flap back on that box, so they poured out in her purse, and that's what got her. You know,
I wish I could tell you that that's like just an asshole cop, but I've heard these stories hundreds of times, and I've experienced shit like it too. You know, it's weird, man.
But I guess that's why when they give you your prescription, everything is stapled to the bag.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
You know what's so funny though is whenever we drank, I kept like 3 cases of beer in behind the truck seat, or I would keep it 2 cases in the floorboard, throw a towel over it, and let her set her feet on top of it. And you know, out of sight, out of mind. That's what they always said. You know, if they don't see it, they ain't got no reason to search. We went down south to see my mom and dad, and we made it all the way to inside the town. And as soon as we got off the on-ramp and pulled into town to the service station, blue lights lit up. We didn't have a tag. We just bought the vehicle. Okay. I hand her my beer. She's sitting there with 2 beers between her legs, opened, and 2 cases of beer in the floorboard with a towel over it. Cop calls up there, and how y'all doing? I'm fine. Ma'am, you ain't supposed to be drinking. Oh, okay. And turns around, and they never asked any questions. The reason I pulled you over, you didn't have a tag on your vehicle. Okay. Well, where you headed? Oh, just right up the road here, about a mile. Okay. Y'all have a good night and take care. We were surrounded by the cops. I mean, it was like we had done a murder or something. But you know, she only saw the 2 open beers, made my wife pour those out, and didn't say a word about her having her feet way up high on the floorboard because the towel had it covered up, and nothing was said. You know, and that was cool back then. You know, because I've only been to jail like 3 or 4 times for drinking. I had 2 DUIs and I had 3 public intox, and that was only during the holidays though. Huh?
Well,
yeah,
they knew it.
You know, I could tell you some funny stories about drinking, but you know, it was that was the first time that anything got caught up with, you know, like I said, her getting caught for her own medicine, and that was just the stupidest thing.
Yeah, but it's not rare, bro. Honestly, I mean, I'm sorry that you went through it. Of course, I'm not trying to minimize it, but it's like there's like a disconnect between, you know, like the doctors and the pharmacies and then the police, because like to them it's categorized as a drug, and then like, you know, but it's like a legal drug, but it's like it's considered a, you know, a controlled substance or whatever, right? Like, so like it's weird. It's just a weird like it's a weird situation, you know. It's just like you said, like with beer, like how do you sell it at the, you know, how do you sell it at a drive-through, and then like, you know, you get in trouble for having it in your car, you know? It's like it don't make no.
It's an open container is what you get.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have a bootlegger had a drive-through window at his house.
But it's like you said, out of sight, out of mind. You know, if you have a six-pack, and you know, or like
he had a bootlegger that they had a drive-through window at their house.
Oh, that's cool. There was some down in Alabama, actually. There was like, I think they weren't called liquor stores. Like it was like they hit them with like some alphabet or shit. I don't ABC or something.
ABC store. That's the Alabama Beverage Control. They're the ones that stock it. The Alabama Beverage Control is the one that busts you for.
That's what it means.
But they're the ones that stock this store. It's the Alabama Beverage Control liquor store. And then you have the package store.
I never knew what it meant. Package store. That's it.
Huh?
That's it. Package store. Cause they'd be like, "Oh, I'm going to the package store. I'm going to the and I'd be like, "What?" And like, I never knew what the hell they were talking about. I'm like, "What are you shipping? Like, what are you shipping all the time?" I'm like, "Why are you going to UPS every damn day?" Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I swear, for months I thought that they were like sending home care packages, like, because we were in the army. You know what I mean? I'm going to the package store. I'm going. I had no idea they were going to get booze. Like,
funny story. We live in Colbert County. Okay, it's always been wet here, but we used to live in Franklin County, just below here, and it was always dry.
Right.
And we had to drive from Russellville to Littleville, the town of Littleville, to get our beer. Okay?
Yeah, I think on Sundays we had to drive to Alabama.
Listen to this story, though. This is what's so weird. You go to Littleville, back in the day when Russellville was dry, okay? 2 different counties, but any package store or bar anywhere in Littleville that they sell beer or liquor has a Russellville address. Anything that's dry has a Littleville address right there on the same 4-lane. And it's been like that for years, even when they were dry all those years. Russellville was getting the income from the package stores up in Littleville, so they didn't care whether Russellville went wet or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crooked.
Well, I guess you do what you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Georgia. It doesn't sell liquor on Sundays or something, so we had to go over to like Phoenix City in Alabama if we were in Georgia, and like, or like, you know, it was like we were like on the border basically, because Fort Benning, you know, is like in both states. It's technically Georgia, but it's in both states.
Well, in Jersey, like certain counties were blue counties, and they had blue laws that you couldn't buy liquor. You could buy beer, but you couldn't buy liquor on Sundays.
Yeah. And then there were certain times even.
Unless it was a city, or if it was within a city limit, you couldn't buy it. If it was considered a city, you couldn't buy it on Sunday. So you just went to the next town over.
Yeah, you know, but even some places, they wouldn't give it to you like before like noon and shit. And like, I don't like New York's not like that. You can walk into anywhere, any time of day and just get shit. You know what I mean? So I was just not accustomed to it. Not that I was a big drinker, but
back before they started selling liquor here on Sundays, there was a bootlegger within 3 blocks of the courthouse, right downtown.
That was my introduction to moonshine down there. It's
Yeah,
like,
well, now, the bootlegger that I started out with whenever I was 14 years old, she was always selling to minors, and she's a good friend of my family and everything. She lived, her house was divided by the Franklin and Winston County line. The parents caught their kids coming home drinking and everything. They would call in on her, to their sheriff, Winston or Franklin County. My kid just bought liquor from that woman down there, and well, you're in Winston County and she's in Franklin County. You don't have to call Franklin County. That's their problem. Okay, they call up to Franklin County. Ma'am, they live in Winston County. That's their problem. So you got nowhere with that back whenever I was growing up. She never once got busted.
yeah, well, back then, I don't know. I don't want to assume, but there was, they knew how to grease palms back then,
Yeah. Yeah, at 14, Dad fixed me the keys to the truck and told me, everybody else done what they wanted. I know you're fixing to do what you want, so you get caught, it's your problem. You get your own self out of jail. But, a cop pulled me over in Haleville one time while I was sober. I was headed to work, and he told me, he said, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "No." He said, "Well, you're all over the road." And he said, "I'll tell you what you need to do." He said, "You need to go out to Bootlegger and get you some beer and you so you can drive better, because every night we see you at downtown, you're driving straight as an arrow and everything." But I don't know. Whenever I was sober, I couldn't drive with Flip back then. I was always
yeah. I hear that all the time. People, it's the same for me. I did a lot. In my mind, I did a lot of things better when I was messed up. I felt normal though.
like I said earlier. I'm 14 years sober now. This Christmas, and I feel a lot better. But it took me a lot to get over it. But like I've told this story once before. I prayed for a solid year to the Lord to help me quit, because I had started at 14. Here I am, 42, and I want to get on with my life, get done with drinking. My wife's tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. Because I would just drink myself drunk, sober, drunk, sober, drunk, sober all day long. And she was crammed loaf bread down my throat trying to sober me up and everything. And, I prayed for a solid year, but, after that 1 year mark, I was standing out there at Christmas time, and I just popped the top on a beer and I turned it up and got me a big swig of it. All of a sudden, I thought about my prayers, and I just slammed that beer can down on the ground. I looked up the sky and I said, "Lord, you ain't listening to me. If you don't help me, I ain't doing nothing else you want me to." And all of a sudden, there was a big orb went up above the oak tree to my right, and I looked over at it. I froze. I knew what it was, and from that day forward, I never touched another drop.
That's incentive.
This thing went down to the ground, and it went through the woods down through there. I watched it like it was a hound dog hunting me, and it went back up above that tree. I said, "Okay, that's my sign. I'm done." But I don't miss it, and I can't even stand the smell of it now. I don't want it around at all.
No, that's good, man. I like to hear those stories.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you get so drunk, and a friend of mine, we were at a party down at the golf course in Haleville, and it come up close to midnight, and he grabbed me by the arm. He said, "Man," he said, "you got to take me home. It's almost midnight. It's my curfew." I said, "Okay, come on." We jumped in my truck, take off, little Chevy S10. We sprawled out from there and slung gravel all over everybody. Instead of stopping at the end of the driveway, I just took it to the right, and we made it a mile up the road, hit a hairpin curve, totaled the truck out, blowed the front tire, flipped it 3 times, and we walked all the way back to the country club. And I had to hold on to him because he had broke his ankle, and he had to hop all the way. We got back to the country club. I told him, I told my brother, I said, "Man, I'm in big trouble." He said, "Why?" I said, "I just wrecked his truck." He said, "You just wrecked your old truck." He said, "You're the one in trouble." and you know, I wound up with a DUI, and that long time with no driver's license, having to get rides back and forth to work and all that just ruined it for me.
Yeah, I know how that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dad sold it to the record driver I still owed on the truck, and he got $15 over the value of the truck. So that's all we wound up with. I wound up with about $1,500
The only
fine.
difference is, the only between alcohol and drug addicts is like they get DWI. When you're doing drugs, you just let it lapse. You don't pay for anything. Drive around with no gas, no insurance, no registration. Just get tickets for that shit. It's amazing. We're here for a reason.
All right. You can't talk over one another. And Mike, you're coming in a little broken up too.
What about me?
No, you sound fine.
Okay.
He just muted himself. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, it was. I heard it.
He came in a little tinny, distorted.
It really didn't start until he cut his camera off.
What's that?
I said it really didn't start until they cut his camera off, I don't think.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I thought the same thing.
Which is weird.
I stepped outside. Sorry, guys. I couldn't hear anybody talking. I'll be right back.
Don't worry. Tracy, how are you? Good to see you. Oh, no. Jay says, I got drunk when I was 14, fell in a urinal and almost drowned.
Jeez.
We've got the Creek Indians coming to town this weekend down at Spring Park here in Tuscumbia. That's going to be fun. The big powwow.
Oh, very cool.
I hadn't been to the one in Atmore, Alabama in years. I went down there whenever I was like 12, 13 years old, and they put on a great show in Atmore every Thanksgiving. But like I said, I hadn't been back.
Now, do they do anything with the Trail of Tears down there? Like
yeah, they got walks around here. While the Creek Indians are here, they have the scenic walk where you can walk it. The motorcycles, they all ride it, which they go from where it starts and follow it all the way through, But at least they get to go across the bridge. The Native Americans, they had to be loaded on rafts and floated across. The landing. Do you remember where I showed you the road to nowhere?
Near
You remember that? Yeah, the road to nowhere. We went down, and there was a big slab rock on the left, and then there was a four-way stop. There was a road. There was four-way stop. There was a road to your right, a road to your left, and a road in front of you. All three of them ends up in the woods. Nothing, 200 feet and you was in the woods. But it was all paved, and then you had the roundabout. Okay. That one right there, if you would have went through those woods straight, it would have took you down to the peninsula where they loaded all the Creek Indians, Cherokee Indians, and all that up and sent them across to Waterloo, up there, Lauderdale County, on the bars. A lot of history here about the Native Americans.
Yeah, I haven't been to a powwow in a long time, man.
Oh, I used to love powwows.
Oh, I used to love them too.
I've never been
to one. Huh?
I've never been to one.
You've never been to a powwow, really? Oh, we'll have to definitely go check on it.
Yeah, you gotta experience one at least.
Yeah, they're going to be down at the park the 13th and the 14th, so we're going to try to get down there this time. We've missed them the last few years, but hopefully everything goes well enough before we get down there. it's free admission, but whenever you get down there, anything you want, you got to pay for. Drinks and all that. They got a lot of nice merchandise too that they sell.
I've been to like one or two at in Arizona, and I was there for 12 years. You think I would have made some more?
It's like but they're only like scheduled on certain days, and you know what I mean. Like you gotta, it's only like once a year, and then you gotta be able to be available at that time, which is
Sure.
the biggest problem,
But no, they're fun. I love watching the dancers and listening to the drums.
Yes,
And
the guy who plays in the band is like the contact I made, and I didn't even know that until the powwow came around that's what he was like the lead singer of this band that plays there every year. And like it's pretty cool because they have like their own songs, and then they cover songs, and then they do like traditional stuff, and like they mix in a lot of stuff, and it's pretty cool.
What's the name of the band?
Red.
Now, down at Altamore,
I'll look it up and send it to you.
yeah, down at Altamore, it's right on the Florida line there in Escambia County. They have a building. They have the big circle out there where they do the dances and all that, but there's a white building there, and it is loaded full of their history. And
Really?
it was awesome to walk in there. I mean, they had the old black and white photos of all the old tribe chiefs and everything, and some of the old blankets that they had for years and stuff. But I mean, it's a nice place.
That's how it is. Like at the Pequot Museum is like right next to Foxwoods. Like as many times as people go to Foxwoods, like it's packed, and then which is a casino, right? And then you have Mohegan Sun, right? But anyway, the Pequots, like they own Foxwoods, and I would have never known the history if I didn't step in there. But it was a ghost town. It was empty. I had the whole place to myself. They took me up in this tower, and like it was so cool. Like it was like all these eagles started flying around, and it was amazing. Like it was like this, like I don't know, it was so cool. But anyway, but yeah, like the story behind it, like they almost lost their land because like everybody left, and these two women, like these elderly women, came back and put themselves there and sat there and like put their roots back down. They're like, no, we live here, like we're still here, like this is our shit, and they held it down until like everyone came back. And
I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I don't cut you off, but I got one question that's been bothering me for the longest. I've read some of the old folklore, mythology and stuff from the Native American tribes back whenever I was doing the research on the Little People, and I come across some stories where some of these Native Americans, no matter what tribe they were in, they did not want to leave the land. So they would escape out by night while they were being herded to the reservations, I call it, because that's pretty much what they done. They herded them like cattle, didn't care whether they lived or died. But anyway, some of them escaped and went back to their native land where they were. And they said to this day they still live there. I'm wondering if this is not some of the feral people they're calling feral people that they're seeing in some of these woods, especially up in the Appalachian Mountains. Is some of those people from the tribes that escaped and went back and didn't want to leave their land. That's something.
I wouldn't doubt it. They would be definitely prime for being able to survive those conditions.
Yeah.
But
they know
generations though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there again, if you committed some kind of crime in the tribe, they kicked you out and made you live on your own, and they called those people feral people because they were no longer a part of the tribe. And I'm just wondering if that's where we picked up the name feral people. It was from them kicking those people out of the tribes and calling them feral people or whatever. but they had to survive on their own. And like mom and dad gets killed, and you're a little baby, they took you out in the woods and set you down in the middle of the woods out there. It didn't matter whether you were a newborn or a teenager, and you were to fend for yourself.
There was a woman that just did a thing, and she was from Spain. I forget where she did the experiment at, whatever you want to call it, right? But she went and spent 500 days in a cave by herself, no contact, no nothing. When they brought her out, she didn't believe that. She was like, no, she didn't want to come out. She only thought it was like 170 days or something, right? So it wasn't even like she was like, oh, I got to get out of here. Like, she didn't even, she was content, like, with staying for longer. But anyway, long story short, if you were to stumble into something like that too, like, if I'm like, oh, cave exploring, and I bump into some shit like that down there, like, I'm going to freak the hell out. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I've had some time slips myself, which is weird to have, because it really messes with your mind. Me and a couple of my buddies went deer hunting, and they told me, said, well, you go up there and sit, and we'll go over here and sit, and the husband's going to go down there and sit, and we'll sit down here for about 2 hours, and then as we come back through, we'll holler at you, and then you come on out, and we'll just go on the truck and go on home. Okay. I went up and felt like I had just sat down at the tree. All of a sudden, I'm hearing screaming, people screaming my name. And then I got up. I said, what the crap's going on? I just got set down. And they said, where you been? So we've been hollering for you for 30 minutes. We was only going to hunt for 2 hours, and here it is, 2.5. I said, y'all crazy, man. I just sat down up there.
Yeah.
Where'd the time go? Because that's so weird to happen. And it not only happened to me once, it happened to me like 2 or 3 times.
I know. I have some weird situations. I don't want to dive into them now, but it's just none of it makes sense.
I've often wondered if time slips like that have something to do with the ley lines.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I was trying to study up on that headless Bigfoot they was talking about. What is that? Oh crap, I can't remember the name. I've got to where I do that a lot right there. That's something that's bothering me the most, just because I can be sitting and talking to somebody, and I know exactly who I'm going to talk about, what I'm going to talk about, but whenever I come to the person's name, it's right on the tip of my tongue, but
You're not alone.
Right.
I walk into the bathroom.
I'm like,
yeah.
I stutter through everything. Like, I
forget names. I hate
it. Yeah, I call it like, my brain's like stutter steps.
Yeah, but I mean, you 2 or 3 times in one conversation with people, it gets pretty embarrassing.
That's what it is. Don't worry about it.
Miss Dill says, are your bones creaking and cracking? Slap on some Moog's Monster Mud. As fake advertised on Dill Vision. Well, click on that link and come hang out. Thank you, Miss Dill. Good to see you.
Well, I'm gonna unclick it. I'm gonna go eat my dinner, and get in bed soon.
All right.
He just wanted to pop on to show us that
no tinfoil hat.
I said you just wanted to pop on to show us, to prove to us that you weren't wearing a tinfoil hat.
Oh yeah. Not tonight, anyway. All right, guys. Well, it was good catching up with you all.
Good talking to you, Mike.
All right, Knack, be good, bro.
Be safe. Talk to you soon. Oh shit! I just knocked them both out.
Oh no.
NAC, you can come back on, bro. You know what it is? As soon as I clicked it, where they were sitting, this one disappeared and it moved immediately over, and I accidentally hit the button twice. the pad twice, so I clicked them both off.
Matched them all.
And I see, just click back on and come back on.
Come back.
Sorry, David. I just scroll back and chat and see what's going on. A lot of wild turkey talk.
I saw.
I
I
said,
saw
holy
that.
shit, when did we start?
Right? Well, I guess that was the drink of choice.
Apparently. Never really wasn't a whiskey drinker. Originally it was rum. I was a rum drinker and then vodka.
I think most of anything I drank was rum.
Let me put that link in chat so in case she wants to come back on. Sorry about that, buddy. Miss Still, thank you for posting LIB's chat or channel, I should say. Excuse me. So yeah, guys, anybody wants to come on, click that link. We can get off the subject of booze.
Trackway, good to see you.
What's up, Dragway? I'm just reading.
Me too. Catching up.
Many conspiracy theories have come true. Huh? Oh,
Back still here.
yeah. Good to see you, Trackway. It's getting Ripley here in Canada. What does that mean? Ripley. It's got to be a Canadian term. I don't know.
Right.
Sketchy or I don't know.
Nipley.
Don't pay attention to what's going on in my country. Actually, I'll try, but oh, Nipley. I thought it said Ripley. Nipley. It's getting chilly there, Mr. Lee. That's all I need to say. He's like, Miss Dilly, nipples? Question mark? It's tit bit nipply. Or bit tit nipply, or whatever you call it. Yeah. Anyway. Burr. No, we haven't had any
Oh my God, it's still hot.
yeah, anything close to that.
I hear it's cooling off everywhere, just not here.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think that the forecast is calling for temperatures to drop soon, like into the 80s. We're still hitting 90s.
With the heat index and humidity, it feels like 100.
Hey, Sharon, why just go back to bed?
Right? I'm about to.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Yes.
But yeah, you should. I would go back to bed. It's not that important. Sleep is more important.
Yes.
It's like Mr. Lee should be in bed too, sleeping.
You know.
Staying up all hours of the morning for this nonsense. We do appreciate it, though. Thank you.
For sure. It's I'm looking at the clocks, seeing how long before I can go to sleep.
30 minutes.
I know. I took a nap before the show and woke up feeling like it was the middle of the night.
I felt bad waking her up. It was like 7:30. I'm like, because she doesn't like to oversleep or,
I don't like rushing, and not that I did anything.
I felt bad. Like I was waking her from a dead sleep.
I was knocked out cold.
I was trying to look up the weather. Okay. Next 3 days, 91, 90, 91. Then it drops Friday, it goes to 88. Saturday, 85. Sunday, 86. 85, 83, 84, 82. So we get out of the 90s for maybe a week and a half. Right on. It's probably because there's hurricanes coming at us.
I know, right?
Well, there was like 3 different waves out there. I think there's only 2 of them that we might have to worry about, but one of them, the third one, they haven't formed into any depressions they're just waves right now, but this has been one of the quietest Atlantic seasons in 55 years up to this point.
I know, and that's scary.
So what's to come? We might get, because they were predicting that this hurricane season, how many storms it was going to be. It was going to be an intense season, and it was basically a flop so far.
And
now they're like,
the storm.
is you got to keep an eye on the African coast, on the west coast, to see what's rolling off of there. And
those waters are still so hot.
That's
out there.
it. Yeah,
They're boiling hot. I mean, I'm exaggerating, but they are very hot.
So we'll see what happens. Because I think hurricane season, not that the fucking Mother Nature really has a calendar. I mean, as far as, usually ends the end of November,
End
I think.
of November, so
November 30th, or
we're just
whatever it is.
getting into it.
Yeah,
This is like the heart of it.
Sharon says, Mr. Lee, when you're not here, you are missed, but we know you need your sleep.
Trackway, thank you for stopping in.
Good to see you, man.
Sleep well.
Don't be a stranger.
Michelle says, I want some good Florida weather next week. I'll be in St. Augustine on vacation.
No guarantees.
Well, you can count on it raining every day.
Well, no, because that one of those storms is going to be either going up the coast or coming up into the Gulf, and it's going to be next week. Just keep an eye on the weather. Keep that in mind. There are some systems out there. Up until a couple of years ago, the last time I came to Florida was like in 91. And it was right after Andrew.
Yeah.
And that we were down in Naples, and just to see like the destruction was like baffling. And here I had never been in the Gulf of Mexico, like in the Gulf.
Right.
And I went with snorkel gear and stuff, and it was mud. The Gulf was brown because of the storm. Breeze. It's like I always see him when he's leaving.
Yes. Well,
I feel bad that I don't see him when he comes in sometimes. I'm like, wait, he's leaving. I didn't know he was here. Damn it. Good to see you, Breeze.
Good to see you.
Hope you're well. Hey, Michelle. Well, St. Augustine is like, what is it? Like the oldest city
Yeah, there's a lot of history there.
I shit. I don't even. I mean, that goes back to the Spanish and
Oh yeah.
yeah. Oh, it's the United States or. Well, yeah, I always wanted to check that out.
It's one of the most haunted
Oh yeah.
cities. Yeah.
Now I really want to check it out. I mean, I'm not a ghost hunter, but if there's that possibility that something's there,
There's a lot of
that's
ghost
cool.
tours.
Yeah,
that go
I
through
don't
there. I
buy
know.
into that bullshit.
No, I know, but I'm just saying because of the history of
Well, that's the thing in
supernatural.
like Jerome, Arizona. You have the Jerome, the Grand Hotel that they say is haunted. So of course there's they do a haunted tour, but then you have these other people that do walking tours. The hospital is supposed to be, or the old whatever the building is. I don't know what it is now, but yeah, I've seen those. I'm just like, really?
There's a ghost tour at the museum that I work at.
Really?
Occasionally. Yes, there is. There is.
Excuse me.
No, I believe there's something there at that museum.
Robert the Doll is in St. Augustine. The Doll.
Oh, really? That's a bad doll.
Yeah, we don't need a hurricane here, but nothing we can do about it.
Hey, Blazer just
I
did.
just hope people pay attention, and leave if they have to leave.
Blazer just wrote a brief history of St. Augustine.
Here, let's pull that. St. Augustine, founded in September 1565 by Don Pedro Menendez de Avides of Spain, is the longest continually inhabited European founded city in the United States. Right on. 1565. So that goes back to the Florida National Guard. They first came together in 1565. So more than likely it happened in St. Augustine. It's like you'll hear, it's the oldest National Guard, like military thing in the United States is Florida National Guard.
Right.
It's from 1565. Fun fact. This more useless fucking information I have crammed in my head that pops out every once in a while.
It makes me want to ask, how do you know that?
Just found that out recently, actually. So that's why it was so easy to spew that shit out. I know there's something near Texas. There's a disturbance there that's causing some rain and shit in Texas. But then there's two others down in the Caribbean and still out in the Atlantic. That see what happens. You gotta forgive me. I'm a weather geek. I love.
It sure is.
You know, I'll click off it here and I'll like go find the latest weather report. And down here, well, you have to be, and I got to know what to expect
With my
because I have
job
boats to
and
worry about.
Your job, both.
You know,
Yeah.
so far I've had to move the boats once as far as to avoid a storm. And that was last year, so hopefully we don't have to do that again. accidentally came on The Bachelorette, then I feel nautilus so fake. What?
No, it's just.
It did not mean that I was The Bachelorette. Sharing guy, Miss Lee and Miss Dill, send Mr. Lee the footage. Nauseous, not nautilus.
That's
Damn,
what I
you are.
said.
That's what, in my head. That's what I thought it was.
I read it nauseous.
I said it the way I read it. The way it was written.
Yeah, no.
That's funny.
You're right, Sharon. I thought it was me. I'm like, what's going on with autocorrect?
You need to come to Oklahoma in the springtime. Yeah, that's when my work gets busy. Where? What's going on in the springtime in Oklahoma?
I bet it's the weather's
I'm sure it's
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I know in about a month, I'm going to, well, tentatively, I put in for some time off. I'm going to go to, we are going to go to Alabama again. I think we're going to go hang out with Spencer and those guys for their outing. First weekend in October, and then probably go to Kenny's house, Flat Rock Booger, and spend 2 nights there, or whatever. But we're gonna go to Alabama again. We had fun, and there's a lot of people I want to meet. So I'm looking forward to that. Zero housework. And you're gonna have to cram it all into the last day, the day before she comes home. He's gonna go through every single dish in the house. You know, every fork, every knife, every spoon,
Every cup.
every cup. Matter of fact, he's gonna go out and buy paper cups. Or solo cups, whatever, plastic cups. So, Mr. Lee, you're sending blow up Susie for patches and a new valve. Sorry, that just. NAC says, Mobes, that was my wife's first time getting pulled over and first time to go to jail. She said it was a very embarrassing situation. Oh, I'm sure,
Oh,
man.
absolutely.
And it was petty, I think, on the officer's part.
It's maddening.
It was technical, he was in the right, but damn,
Yeah.
it could have been proven, it could have been, but it's unfortunate. But she survived. She's got a story to tell. But it's scary. The first time it's like, what, you don't know what to expect. Mr. Lee says, Dan, I tried one of those already. I was disappointed. Next time, fill it with helium.
Okay.
He's always trying to get away from you. Worst comes to worst, you can just inhale the helium and make funny noises. Sharon says, we won't see Mr. Lee for a month when she gets back.
Right. Mr. Lee. Anybody seen Mr. Lee?
And he says, damn, Lee disappointed a doll. Don't know what you guys are actually talking about. Oh, Red Solo Cup. Yes, indeed. Yeah, that's unfortunate that Toby passed. I used to sing a lot. I still, I mean, if I do karaoke, I'll do Toby Keith, usually.
Yep.
We got to go find a place. It's been too long.
Yeah.
I used to sing like a motherfucker. Aw, Toby was my best friend in another life.
Boyfriend.
Oh, boyfriend, whatever. That's what I said. Blazer says, Mr. Lee, fill it with helium so she plays hard to get. That's what I said. She's always trying to get away from you. Crazy says, come to Oklahoma. We know a few spots to sing karaoke. When we were in Alabama the last time, we tried to, when we hung out with Tex and those guys and Rob and everybody, we tried to find a karaoke place that was local, but there wasn't anything going on.
They had one
night.
place and it was just so small. It was,
yeah. When I went to the Tennessee outing, what was that, 2 years ago now, or whatever it's been, 3 years? Three. One of the guys that was there, we started talking about, he was security, personal security for Toby Keith.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Cool guy. You wouldn't expect it. But he did like the property, his house, and you know where he lived. Because he wasn't a big guy. He was kind of short and skinny, and it was like, oh shit. Carried a big gun though.
Oh, the irony.
Irony, getting pregnant on a pull-out couch. That's hysterical, dude. He's using helium, not hydrogen. Helium is not flammable, as far as I know. I can't post that. This still. It's funny though. Some instructions on how to roll a joint, basically. Mariners lose. Mariners lose.
Whoa.
Okay.
Chet said Braves won. Braves won.
A
Saw that?
lot of lightning out there tonight.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Tracy says, I heard there is a Steeler bar in almost every state. It probably is. Where are we at? Jeez, we got like 8 minutes left.
Oh wow.
It's so long. Just kidding. See? We have Steelers bar here. Wing Wing and Marietta. Kershaw is a Steelers spot. I never got into going because I was never a big sports fan. Like, I didn't have a favorite team. I would vote, root for the team wherever I lived, at the time. Where did you go? You just ducked out?
No. Yeah, kind of. I don't know.
I look up, you were gone. I didn't do it.
I didn't see it go. My phone might have died.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, probably.
The phone died.
Yeah.
But she's still here. She's next to me. She's my faces. See, this is what I go back to is I when I'm at work, I wear a hat. It's a little wider brim all the way around. I can't, ball caps I cover my ears. My nose, but then when I get home, I don't wear a hat. I'll be out there fishing all day or cutting the lawn or whatever. I don't wear a hat. I don't kind of defeats the purpose of wearing one at work. I don't know. Because I just looked up and I realized my face is red.
Yeah. A little bit.
Jay says 95 tomorrow. My fat ass going to get hot. AC guy said couldn't get here till after 3.
Oh man.
Yikes. Sure can help you, dude.
I'll be at work tomorrow.
Well, I have access to a window unit. Measure. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz, get naked. Don't do any splits. You'll get stuck. In Florida. Paradise my butt. No, when you can get in out of the hell, it's not too bad. AC guy. Antichrist.
You see Jay ducking, reading it as he reads it.
His blazer's like, not funny. I mean, he said, Jason Blazer, not funny. Sorry. Too soon?
Too soon.
No. Well, Jay, I'm just glad that you guys are okay. That's the important thing.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Fred.
Chair's probably not helping.
We have 2 floor AC units. My daughter has a window for her. Chinchillas. Window unit. Chinchillas are cool. Did you ever see a chinchilla?
No.
These little gray creatures.
I mean, I know what they look
rodents,
like, but I've never seen
but
them.
they're so friggin' soft. And then you put them like they'll take these dust baths. So you
I've
put them
seen
in
it.
like this, you put a bowl out with this dust in it. And they will just roll and roll and roll and roll in it. It's pretty cool. But chinchillas are just so soft.
I've
It's
seen
incredible.
videos, but never seen them.
Anybody that pukes in my ride is banned. 1 strike policy. Yeah, no, that's not it. It's a good policy. Yeah, no doubt. It had to be loud.
Yeah, I'm sure. Scared the shit out of me.
You're lucky, Tracy. Yeah, you don't have to worry about it. So, dodge that bullet. That's good. Mr. Lee says, Jay Fritz, I bet you regret not getting the additional AC appliance for your chair now. I don't think it came with that extra.
She said, Mr. 3, then it would have fried me.
This is true. Leave a like and share these golden oldens. This. 30-foot tree came down. Oh, 130-foot tree coming down. That's a lot of tree, man. Danny, good night. Guys, we are going to end this. Thank you so much for hanging out. Good to see everybody. We will be back Thursday. If you guys enjoyed yourself tonight, please hit that like button below.
Leave comments.
Share it. If you're new, subscribe. And welcome. David, it was good to see you. Thanks for hanging out.
LIB Mike. Good to see you.
Yeah, Mike, as always, good to see you. Thanks. We'll be back on Thursday. You guys have a wonderful evening. Take care of yourselves. Take care of one another. We love you. Peace and God bless.